Yo, what is up, guys? I'm here with another video, and I'm gonna do a tutorial about how to use a Navmesh system in Unity. The video uploaded yesterday, I decided to private it. I thought it was pretty garbage, so I'm trying to up it a little bit, you know. So, I actually came prepared this time. I didn't write a script or anything, so I still am just winging it. But I actually did prepare for the video here, and let's get right into it. Okay, so I've got this scene here. It's pretty basic. I made it in like 2 seconds. Just got these two little boxes here, and then it's got all these random walls and stuff, right? So we're gonna make this capsule here. This is just me inserted a capsule. I just inserted a capsule, right? All the basic stuff. Named it player. We're just going to make this thing. Avoid these things and go to where you click. That's all we're gonna do, right? So the first thing we're gonna need to do to make this work is we're going to add a component to the thing that you want to move around on the Navmesh called a Navmesh agent. Okay, so basically you could change the speed of it. You can change a bunch of different settings here. We're going to leave them default, but you could change a lot of different settings here to fine tune it the way you want it to actually work. And you can also, if you click open agent settings right here, if you have something that's a different size, you can click this plus, create this new agent, and name it whatever, and you can change this how big it is, the height of it. You can also change how high it can step, like if you have steps or something, and also the maximum slope that it can walk up. So those are pretty useful things. We're not going to be doing that, but you now know that it's there. Okay, but to get to this navigation tab, that's the next thing we're going to need to do. I closed it there just in case you don't want to have to open agent settings. You go to window, then you go to AI, and you go to navigation, and you'll be at this navigation tab. So inside of this navigation tab, what you're going to want to do, wait, actually, hold up, getting ahead of myself. Everything that you want your player to be able to walk on needs to be static. So this little checkbox up here needs to be marked on everything you want the player to be able to walk on. So like if I took this ground, these two grounds, and I unchecked that, it's not going to work. You need to make sure that everything is static, and if they're inside of like an object like this, you want to make sure all of the children are static too. Everything that you want the player to be able to walk on needs to be static. Okay, let's go back to the navigation tab. So what you need to do after you've made everything static, you got your scene set up and stuff, go to this bake right here. And basically, this is where you can put in some settings of what you're baking. I don't really understand why this is here, because I figured that, I was kind of figuring that it would have grabbed, it would have been dependent on what you put here. So that's kind of weird, but anyways, to bake it, you literally just click bake, and it'll bake the Navmesh. It's that easy. You just click bake, and it's done, right? So you see all of this blue is where it can walk. So if I took this box here though, and I widened it a little bit, and I baked it again, it can walk on top of this box, and you might not want that. And if we just make it not static, and we bake it, then it's just going to ignore the box, and we don't really want that. So we're going to make the box static, and we're going to make it ignore that layer, which is something I didn't actually go over. I didn't actually look into before this, but I'm pretty sure what you do, I mean, I'm testing this first time right here, is you add a Navmesh obstacle, right? Wait, no, I don't know if it's a Navmesh obstacle. No, it's not. There's a Navmesh thing. I swear there was a Navmesh thing that is like overwrite stuff. I swear. It's not here. I thought I knew this. Carve. Okay, that's not it. What? Areas. Agents. Object. Oh, that's where it is. Okay, they changed it, so you actually just click on the object that you want to change, and then you go to this object area in the navigation tab, and then we can overwrite it by saying not walkable, and now when we bake it, it's not walkable. I don't know, they changed it since the last time I used Navmeshes. which is actually a very long time ago. We're gonna actually shrink this down just a little bit so our player will be able to move through there just barely. Okay, but anyways, we now have it all baked up, and all we have to do now is write some code to make it, do stuff. So I'm just gonna go into my scripts folder here, and I'm gonna create a new script called player. Now I came prepared because I was testing this, and I actually wrote the code, and I can have it on my second monitor, so I won't mess up. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple stuff here. If you've used Unity, or if you've been using Unity, this should be pretty straightforward. But basically, all we need is, this is gonna go on the player, what we need is that Navmesh agent. But to get that, if we start typing Navmesh agent, it's not gonna be there. We actually have to be using Unity engine.ai. And now if we type in Navmesh agent, there it is. And we're gonna get that component from the player. So agent equals get component Navmesh agent. And there we go. And we're also gonna want the player, because we're gonna be going to where or not the player, the camera. We want the camera. So we're just gonna do a public camera cam. Don't call this camera, because that's a namespace and you'll have some issues. So just don't do that. So we're gonna call it cam. And then what we're gonna do is go down into update, and we're gonna check if you click. So if input.get key down, and then key code mouse 0, that means we left clicked. If we left click, we're gonna create a new ray, and it's gonna be the camera that we're specifying, and then screen point to ray, and then we just pass in input dot mouse position, which returns the mouse position and pixel coordinates on the screen, so screen point to ray, hence. And then we're going to create a new variable beneath it called raycast hit. Well, it's going to be a raycast hit, and it's going to be called hit. And then beneath here, we're just going to say physics dot raycast, and we're going to raycast using that ray, and then we're going to do out hit. Actually, no, we're gonna make this an if statement. I don't know. We need to make this if statement. So if physics, blah blah blah, right? If physics raycast ray. So basically, if this hits something, then all we're gonna do is say agent. So this is literally all you do. Agent dot set destination, and then just pass in the point in the world you want it to go to, which in our case would be hit dot point, because that's where we clicked. So that's all of the code. It's gonna take the agent. It's gonna call set destination, and it's gonna pass in the point. That's all it needs to do. Easy, right? So now we're gonna throw this onto the player, and then we're gonna drag in the camera to our camera variable as soon as it compiles. Okay, so we drag the script onto the player. Boom. Now we scroll down. Okay, we need to go back to the inspector over here. We scroll down, and we drag the camera here. And now, in theory, we've baked our nav mesh, and now this player should be able to navigate on the nav mesh. So let's test this out. And we click over here, and it walks over there, avoiding all the things. And we click over here, and it'll walk around all of the obstacles to get to where I clicked. And I believe it's using the shortest path. It should use the shortest path. Wouldn't really make too much sense if it didn't. We can change its destination while it's walking, and it can go up this slope up here, and then go over here. But yeah, that's how you use nav meshes in Unity. We got there in the end. Took a little bit of trial and error, a little bit through there, but it's pretty simple. I hope this tutorial helped somebody. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to drop a like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below on another tutorial that you guys want me to do, and maybe I'll do it. This tutorial was suggested by Kaio. I'll throw the message right there. It was in my Discord server, which is also in the description. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.